Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, April 11th. I don't know what it is, but it's a cool date, 4/11/23. Absolutely excited to be here with you this morning. Love Tuesdays. Got so much going on today. Got so much going on today. One is trading, right? I'm going to go over some cool stuff, something for you to think about if you're thinking about, man, I want to learn how to trade. And I hear this a lot, right? I was thinking about it last night. I get a lot of people that say, man, I really want to learn how to trade. Well, you got to enroll in classes, right? To do that, there's actually a link somewhere I posted in the description. If you want to enroll, really, really cool trading academy. There's about a dozen highly qualified, experienced traders that have classes 35 times a week. There's recorded classes. The community is absolutely off the chain. It's a platform that I use to help me get to where I am today. And I think I actually started learning how to trade just a little. I mean, right about, I can't remember my exact anniversary date, but somewhere around this month, 2 years ago. So it doesn't take that long. The commitment in enrolling in classes is 1,000 times less expensive than going to college. Basically, it's $179 a month tuition. If you're thinking about trading and learning how to trade, highly recommend that you make a commitment to 3 to 5 hours a week. You can attend live classes, you can attend recorded classes, you can get in the community, but you've got to make a commitment to show up on a regular basis and practice, 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 practice. Just like if you're going to be a professional tennis player, basketball player, football player, anybody that wants to get really, really good at something, you've got to practice a lot, right? I use a lot of martial arts analogies. Whatever it is, you've got to practice, right? It's not something that you're going to watch one or two videos, get in and think you can trade or follow some guru online. So just do this simple thing and blah, 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 right? BS, right? You have to know you have to have a really strong base in the basic fundamentals to learn how to trade. And then you've got to practice, 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 practice. The cool thing about the Forex and trading community is that, excuse me for 1 minute. Yes, baby. All right. Have a good morning. I'll see you this afternoon. All right. Love you. Bye. So, the one thing about the communities, right? If you want to, I want you to think about this from, if I'm going to go to college and learn how to do something, most people don't have the patience. They want the money like right now, right now, right now. And then they go through that stinking thinking mindset. They end up trying to learn how to trade from watching 2 or 3 videos. They lose all their money. Then they say something crazy. And like, oh, I tried that once. I'm like, whatever, right? So, learning how to trade, very, very cool opportunity. If you want to do it, click the link in my bio, wherever it is. If you need help getting enrolled, I'll do a quick screen share, show you what to do if that's something you want to do. If you don't know me, my name's Forrest Knight, social media marketing strategist, trader, coach. Love helping people make money. So if that's you, you're in the right place. So check this out. Let me do some screen sharing here. Let me jump over here. Screen share. We're going to jump in here. We're going to look at US 30 today. We're going to look at the Euro USD. Talk a little bit about that for a moment. Good morning, Heath. Good morning, sir. So if you decide you want to enroll in classes, you simply can go to the link that's in my bio or in the description here. If you don't have it, shoot me a text. I'll get it over to you. You're going to pop up. It's going to ask you what country you're in. You choose your country. You're going to scroll down to this area here, putting your details in this area here. If it pops up and says check your email, just stop, don't pass go, don't collect $200, put in a different email address and come back and try again. Just put in a different email address, come back and try again. It's then going to take you down to the bottom. Actually, it's to the bottom. It'll take you to populate and bring you down here where you can enroll into. Now, they've got a 5-day online, 5-day Kickstart virtual course. It's $1,099. This is highly impactful if you really want to like jumpstart your trading experience. Is high impact. But you're going to click this middle button here. You're going to enroll. You're going to add it to your cart. Again, it's a monthly subscription. It's month to month to month to month. Get in. Look at the calendar. They've got a calendar in there that tells you when the classes are. You're going to get enrolled inside. You're going to go to the FX 101 basics. They've got a crypto academy in there. They've got an NFT academy in there. They've also got a Forex academy, so you can learn how to trade what you want to trade. I would recommend starting out with the Forex basics. unless you want to learn how to trade crypto. Highly recommend anybody watching this, you better start figuring out crypto sooner than later, because it's coming. It's not going away, irregardless of what people say. That's not even a word. Regardless of what people say, it's coming, right? So get set up for that. Something else is coming up here that I'm excited about, and everybody's talking about chat GD. I can't even say it. The chat bots, right? Forex.com is hosting a class. You can register. You can choose what time you want to attend. There's one at I'm not going to do the 8 a.m. Today. Actually, that's tomorrow. And then there's one at 11 o'clock tomorrow. If you'd like to attend those, let me know. I'll get you this link. But basically, it's a 45-minute session. It's going to show you how to use Capitalize AI to monitor the markets for patterns you're looking for, and then execute trades precisely when that pattern occurs. It'll walk you through defining any candlestick patterns using Capitalize AI's natural language. This is bad to the bone. This is on my next thing to learn on how to. And it's just basically you write a script that says, if this happens, do this, and then if that happens, then do this, right? And based on who you're plugged into, and right now there's about a half a dozen brokers that use the Capitalize AI. Forex.com is one of those. So you can go in and you could set it up, and you could do something really cool to sort of automate your trading. Again, it would take some practice. You'd have to practice probably with a demo account. Set it up to practice, but the cool thing about it is it can come back and you could use it to, say, trade the Euro USD, which the Euro USD, if you're not sure about, and I'll read this right up here. These are the major currency pairs. There's 7 of them, right? These currency pairs are based on a list of popular currencies that are paired with the US dollar. The basket of major currencies consists of 7 pairs. These pairs account for most of the turnover of the entire Forex market. The Forex market is a $7 trillion a day market. $7 trillion a day. It's not a fad. It's not something that some network marketing company made up. It's been around way before MLM ever even showed up, right? For instance, the Euro USD pair alone accounts for 30% of that $7 trillion, right? 30% of the $7 trillion is attributed to this pair right here, Euro USD, right? This is a chart inside TradingView that you can come into. You can read currency pairs, and it gives you a little idea. Trend following, strong, recommended buy. Again, you're not going to just read something like this. Oh, I'm going to go put a buy in on the Euro USD, right? You've got to learn how to trade so you understand how to set a take profit, how to set a stop loss, how to enter a trade, do all that kind of stuff, how to use MetaTrader 4, how to use MetaTrader 5, depending on your broker. How to read a chart when you get in here, so you can actually look at something like this and understand, like when you're looking at the Euro USD, where do I enter a trade? What do all these red and green lines mean? What is a Fibonacci pivot? Am I going to use Fibonacci's, or am I going to use the cloud to help me enter trades? What tool am I going to use? Am I going to use some? Am I going to fall for the use a bot? Now, I did mention AI. Right. This is something that you actually write the script yourself. It isn't a bot out there trading for you. There's guys advertising bots that will automatically trade for you. But I don't know. I don't use bots. The few bots that I've looked at, I can actually out trade them. And I'm not a super experienced guy. I can actually usually a lot of times out trade a bot because I can look at it faster based on how I look at trading. I can usually out trade a bot a lot of times, at least the few that I've looked at. Just couldn't keep up. They were sort of lagging behind where I was at for entering a trade or closing a trade. There's a lot of lag in them. So this is your Euro USD. I'm out on the daily chart. And as you can see, right, depending on when you're looking at this chart, there's a lot of movement in this. It's had a lot of rise into long position. It's done a little bit of consolidation. Right now, it's sort of hanging out here. If I come down to the 1 hour chart here, let's hit the refresh button. You can see there's been quite a bit of movement in here. And if I was a trader and I wanted to trade, depending on what my lot size is and understanding how candlestick moves and things like that, there would have been a nice entry right here on a trade that would have ran up here. I look a lot at the EMAs where they're at in relationship to my Fibonacci's, and I typically know when there's a turn, right? Price is going to run up and it's going to bounce off a resistance level, which it does. It works just like US 30, just like I talk about how I trade US 30. It'll run up and bounce off of this. If this breaks, let's go take a look at the cloud here, right? So it's above the cloud. lagging spans in the cloud. They typically say don't trade when that kind of stuff's happening. Again, it's just some of the rules out there. I'd wait. If this price breaks below these two EMAs and breaks below the cloud, it's probably going to run down and hang out in this area for a little bit, do some consolidation, or based on what this cloud is saying, do it. It may just do this sort of for a while. And then two things are going to happen, as I say with every pair, right? Depending on what's going on in the market, two things are going to happen if it does something like this, runs along this line. It's going to go this direction, or it's going to go this direction, right? There's only three directions. Any pair, anything you can ever trade has three directions. It has this direction, right? Left to right. It's got an up direction or a down direction. They can't go. And sometimes there's a little, if you want to call it a wiggly, a consolidation, right? Down direction, up direction, sideways direction, right? There's only three ways that price can go. It's sideways, right? Down or up, right? Up, down, a little bit of sideways, up, down. See this? Up, right? Sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways, up and down a little bit. You see my point? A big, huge down, up, right? Overall trending up, right? Nice big down here. Overall trending up, right? Nice down here, nice up here, a little bit of drop, do a little consolidation through here. And again, we're back to the little ups and downs. There's only three directions that money can go, right? Up, down, or sideways, right? Depending on what time frame that you're trading on, you're going to have a different movement. So if we come down here to the 15-minute, at the refresh, 15-minute does the same thing. It looks like a bigger move, right? But these are 15-minute candles, right? Which means it forms a new candle every 15 minutes, right? This candle right here, this current candle is going to time out here in 2 minutes and 21, 20. And there's a timer over here that I have, a countdown timer that I turned on that you can set here to watch the countdown timer. There's going to be a new candle that forms, right? Since I'm up against what I call my magnet, my Fibonacci pivot, my resistance, right? And then I've got my EMA here. Price is going to do this until it moves. What was that?
Still on it.
Why is my phone doing weird stuff?
Sorry, something went.
That was weird. That sort of freaks me out when Siri just starts talking. That was sort of scary. I was like, who the hell is in my office? Whew. That was crazy. So anyway, nice trend move up here. This is the Euro USD. Looks very, very similar to everything else that we trade. Nice move here, depending on when you set these trades up. To see, this was from this morning about 5:30. Had a nice rundown, depending on what kind of indicators you're using. If you have the chandelier turned on, is this my chandelier is not? Should be on. Oh, yep, there it is. So I use a chandelier indicator, which is pretty cool, and it says sell, right? So I take a look at that. I take a look at my MACD. I've got a nice red dot down here. I probably would wait till price gets underneath my EMAs, right? And then I'm opening this trade right in about this area. I'm going to run it down here to whatever pippage I want to get, right? I probably wouldn't come all the way down here, but probably somewhere in the 30 to 50 pip range. Again, depending on my lot size and my balance size. So, right, you got to understand the risk to reward. Set my stop loss up here at a 1 to whatever ratio, depending on what you're doing. If I'm doing a 3 to 1, a 4 to 1, whatever it is, it's always going to be a 1 for my stop loss, right? 10 to 1. I'd rather lose only 1% of anything that I'm trading, right? Or a smaller percentage. And I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to take a little bit of money. The cool thing about trading is sometimes you just have to take the money and run. If you've been following me at all, I say that a lot. Again, another indicator here. Got a couple of guys that I ran into. They trade on candles, right? This to me is a hot mess. This looks like a Christmas tree right in here. Like, do I enter now? Do I get out? And then, of course, you've got engulfing candles and all kinds of other candles that you can use. I use the Fibonacci pivots to trade with. trend directions primarily because I scalp the US 30, right? So it just depends on what you feel comfortable that you want to learn how to trade with. If you come down to a smaller time frame, you can scalp pretty much anything you want to. Scalping is a short-term trade. You can scalp 1 minute. You can scalp 15 minutes. It's a very, very short-term trade. In terms of scalping, it's basically opening a trade and just sitting on it. So I could have opened this one at, well, probably not 2 o'clock in the morning. Probably wouldn't have been up there. But again, on this 5-minute chart here, this is running along, and you can see there's a lot of fighting going back and forth here in the Euro USD. Works exactly the same way as US 30. Look at that. Same color candles, same type of setup, just a different type of money. The Euro, right? Euro USD is, I guess, it has a trend up. They say it's trending to buy. So if you're going to open a swing trade or an intraday trade, you might want to look at supply and demand zones on a larger time scale to see where it's going to go up and set your trade and enter that trade and wait for it to take profit. I would, if I'm using Fibonacci pivots based on the rules I follow, I would wait for it to break above this area. But again, I'm on the 5-minute chart. So I go to a larger time scale to see where that is for my entry, but it would probably be above this resistance level. If this is trending to buy, I've got a lot of money between here and here, right? If we come to my 15-minute, hit the refresh, right? I've got a lot of money in this area. So if I was going to come in here and analyze the charts to see if this would be a good entry, I'd probably do an entry somewhere in this range. I'm going to run it up to right here. I like doing conservative entries. And the reason I do this, and if you've been following me at all, sometimes price will wiggle. It'll bounce up and then it'll come back down this way, right? You could do a buy limit on this to where you would set the entry down here. It would turn and come back this direction. I just like to do buy stops and just wait for it to pass through here. Then I'm going to do a very conservative stop loss. So if it does bounce and come here. Now, one of the things I could do on the Euro USD, if it comes up here, it enters, turns around and closes and comes back. I could do something fun like this, right? I can do something fun like this. Do a second entry and run it up to the same spot. And I'm going to pull my stop loss up here. I'm going to leave my stop loss at the same spot to give myself a little bit of room. Because typically, if it's going to do this, and I'm not following the Euro USD, so I'm just guessing right now. I'd have to go back and just look at its patterns. But I know if this was a US 30, it would do something like this: pop here, come back down here, do some crazy stuff, and then bust out and go this direction, right? And then it's going to come up, stall out somewhere right in this area, do some of this stuff. It may come back down this way, but at least I have my entries for my trades. And again, I'd have to go back and look at how Euro USD dances. If it dances like US 30 does, then that's what US 30 does all the time. It comes along and plays along a resistance line, and then it either pops up or pops down. So right now, depending on where this candle goes on this 15-minute, it's either going to push all the way to here and stall out. And I've got my resistance, my R3 all the way up here. It may stall out here and push all the way up to this area before it turns around. If it breaks through here, it's going to come up into the ozone, as I call it, and hang out. And it's going to go down this direction, depending on where it's at today. And it may continue on an up push into the next day, depending on where it goes. So that's just some tips. If you want to learn how to trade, again, and you really get into figuring out a style that's going to work for you, figuring out a routine, creating your rules of when you're going to open a trade, when you're going to get in a trade, when you're getting out of a trade. A lot of it's mindset. What happens if I go into drawdown? How long am I going to stay in drawdown? Well, of course, I don't even know what drawdown is. Well, go to class and learn, right? Where do I set my take profit? I don't know. What is scalping? What is intraday? What is a swing trade? How long do I get in a trade? How much money do I need? What's a lot size? Rolling classes. The link is somewhere in the bio. Get into classes, learn all that stuff, commit to the next 2 to 3 years to learn how to trade. I practice every day. I have a demo account. If I'm going to do something new, I practice till I make a change. So we're on the 15-minute chart. US 30 is rolling down to 8:30. Where is my news at? computer did a restart overnight and closed all my stuff. Forex is spelled, there we go, with one R, not two, like Forest. This is Forex Factory. This is sort of just an indicator that some traders choose to use to just sort of look at if there's any news. The China news came out at 3 o'clock this morning for new loans in China. That's the first time I've ever seen this on this deal, which means China's starting to be a big player in the markets, I guess. I don't know. I know they've been in the news a lot. I'm not going to be trading any China money. US dollars, right, in this area. Again, tomorrow, the US news is coming. News is going to come out for the US dollar. And you see a red folder, that means it's going to have a lot of effect. Same thing with the pound and the Canadian dollar are all going to have something happen with their money. So if you're trading USD against CAD, against the Canadian dollar, or the pound against the US dollar, pound against the Canadian dollar, it might, it might have some volatility. Sometimes these folders don't do anything. It just does a little boop and doesn't really do anything. So again, this is a whole nother thing. We're not going to jump into that today. So let's go back and look at US 30. This is what I've been scalping lately, and there's a lot of money in this. This bad boy moves really, really fast. Once you practice with US 30, right? Once you practice with the US 30, if you get in and out of this fast, and if you can get in and out of here really fast, you got fast fingers, you're going to open up a demo account, right? And you're going to practice, and you're going to practice, and you're going to practice, and you're going to take notes, and you're going to practice, and you're going to take notes, and you're going to practice, and you're going to take notes, right? And if you want to not practice and not take notes and open up an account, and I don't even want to talk about some people's, well, I'm going to practice with real life money because I can just light it on fire and I have all the money in the world. Fine, if that's you, have fun. For the rest of us, no thank you. I'm going to practice with a demo account. I'm going to open up a demo account, and I'm going to see what's going to happen. So remember what I said about price hovering. Remember what I was talking about setting on the Euro USD, right? Right here where I said set these, right? Give myself some room for the pop-up. That's exactly what I mean here, right? So if I would have set that order right here, if I go back in time a little bit, if I would have set a long position right here and did something like this and brought up my stop loss so I don't lose a lot of dollars, right? Did a 4-to-1 in this area. When it popped up, you can see it, right? It popped up above here. Hopefully everybody can see this a little bit. It popped up, price came up to here. Now, if I would have had my phone open at 4:45 in the morning, which I wasn't, I was sleeping, right? If I would have set this trade the night before to say, okay, if price comes here, it's going to pop up this area, it's going to turn around. It popped up, got a little bit of equity, and it closed the trade out, and it came down to my stop loss. I would have been a little bit of loss. It hovered around, came all the way back down this way, right? And I could have done a counter trend trade down here. I could have opened the same thing, but see, again, I'm looking at my EMAs. Because of where my EMAs are at, I would have had to open that bad boy way down here, and it's really hard to tell because, again, it would have turned around and closed my trade out. Again, I would have been a loss. So now I had my pop up, came down, popped back up. Now I'm hovering around my resistance. Price is going to do 3 directions from here, right? 3 directions. It came down, it came up. I have to come back here and look at where's my 15-minute, right? I need to come back here and look at overall trends. Where's price been before? Can actually come out to the 1 hour and see if price is going to head to the moon again, right? Nothing here. It looks like it's been to this area before, right? Looks like it's been into this area before. It's come up right into here. It might push it out to, if it breaks through here, let's go up to the 4 hour and see where price is at here. See, now I've got price way up here, right? Way up in this zone. So that's the 34,406. So a pretty good chance that price could come up all the way up into this zone, just depending on where it goes. And it has a lot to do with US 30. So the US 30, when you're trading, major stocks, if you want to call it, is 30. If you want to Google what's in the US 30, go Google it and find out. Those are going to be the things that are going to affect right? That are going to affect the US 30 when it trades in the terms of the direction it goes in. So let's get back down here to the 15-minute. Hit the refresh. It's all about practicing. Again, we're scalping. We're on a really, really small time frame here. You can see the candle is going to push up here, and sometimes we just have to wait. We've got 4 minutes on this candle left for it to change, right? And looking directions, I've got a MACD down here on the, if you can see the MACD down here, I've got a green dot on my MACD, but price is just now coming to my zero. It may hover, right? Or it may pop all the way through this. If it pops all the way through this, it's going to come up to this area here somewhere, and we can be ready for that scalp, and we can grab some of that money. What are we getting? We got 4 minutes here. So we're going to see what's going to happen with the pop here. It's going to bust. Let me get my phone out. Jump over to MetaTrader. MetaTrader 5. Open up my trade. Hit the trade button. Make sure I'm on market execution. Got my lot size set. And I'm going to wait here. Again, I'm on a 5-minute chart. Let's go to the 1 minute and make this fun, right? Let's see what we've got going on the 1 minute. I'm above my resistance on my 1 minute. Candles are all over the place, right? Let's mess with you guys a little bit. Let's take a look at the Heikin-Achi candles. Whew, man, a lot of wicks going in there. A lot of battling. If you see a lot of wicks on Heikin-Achi candles, it means there's a lot of indecision going on. Even if it's trending in a general direction, it means you've got a lot of buyer seller action, which when you come back here, you can see there's a sort of jumping back and forth between the two. And there's never, every now and then there'll be a strong buy or a strong sell candle, but then it's always going to have the other side coming in for your trades. We've got a lot of room to go in that direction. If this is really going to push up, right? Let's take a look at my cloud again. Yeah, we've got a buyer's cloud, although we've got a sellers on my MACD down here jumping back and forth. We'll see where it goes, right? How close we're getting to 8:30. It's 8:27. The reason I'm talking about 8:30, it's usually some type of spike that goes on in the 8:30. You just got to make sure you give yourself room enough to move very, very fast. Open and close these trades. Hey, Jacques, good morning. Somebody else popped in and said, yo. Not sure who that was. I bet you that was Brian, my guess. Good morning. Good morning. Yep, that's Brian. Yep. Brian, I can tell by your Facebook user blink image on there that's you, man. So funny. So popping up here. And again, the 8:30 pop. So I click the StreamYard link. Sometimes it takes a little bit. I don't know, Brian. It's technology. It should populate your name. Not the end of the world. So what do we got? We had 8:30 yet, 8:28. I need to get me a cool like clock that I can put in the upper right hand corner of my monitor that just like has like the tells me exactly what time it is for the next minute. So I can just hit it floating on my screen on top of everything I'm doing. I don't know. There's probably one out there somewhere. All right. Let's see what do we got going on? Got the cloud. We got the MACD saying sellers are trying to come into the market. We've got a lot of little indecisions going on. Again, you don't have to. Sometimes there's not a good time to trade, right? Sometimes you just have to wait. Aaron Shepard says, he uses a pound sign called pound paid to wait. Sometimes you have to wait, right? You just have to wait to see what's going to happen. Sometimes there's a trade. Sometimes you may miss it. But the cool thing about it is money's going to be there all day and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Imagine sitting down trading to where you get so good, you could make $5,000 in one day in about an hour, and you don't have to trade. And again, you could always make $5,000 5 days a week. But what if you just traded one day for 1 hour, made $5,000, and you have to trade the rest of the week, and you're making, I don't know, what's 5,000 times 52, right? Pretty decent little amount of money. There's a bounce right there, right? And it's trying to push. It's coming to my resistance, right? Lagging span is still up. Still got a buyer's cloud. My MACD is showing sellers. Now buyers jumped in. Some manipulation. And bam, buy. And go to my close position because it's going to reverse on me. And I just got to wait for the money to hit. And it should push up on the next candle. We'll see. Got a lot of seller resistance in there. Trying to pull back. All right. And we'll wait. Where did my and this is where it gets a little bit tricky on you. Huge sell candle right there. I'm going to wait for the next candle to see if that hits. It's going to come back and take up some of that consolidation. It may not. That would have been a good candle to open and close if you caught it on the very, very beginning. If not, we got to wait to see if it breaks through this EMA. And let me close that cloud there. Yep, it did. We'll see where the next candle comes in. Oh, it's coming back. It's going to fight a little bit on the bottom side. And we'll see where this next candle goes. Look at my MACD. Look at the mouth on my MACD. It's got a wide open mouth. Both lines are trending towards the 0 line on my MACD, right? But then again, I've got a lot going on my EMAs up here, right along that resistance line, trying to keep money in that zone, right? So, didn't break the wick, didn't break the wick, didn't break the wick. It didn't break it. Came right up to it. Let's see if that creates it. Oh, there it goes. Oh, not quite. This is what's fun, right? That's a crazy candle right there. Straight up. You can't see it, but it just is. I think if I remember the name, it's a large doji candle, dragonfly, I believe is what it's called. Just crazy when that happens. Like it's just a total zero out. Both like you had like 100 on this side and 100 on this side, and they sort of zeroed each other out. I'm just saying 100. It's easy math. All right, let's go back here. Let's see where this next candle pushes to. Nice buyer's candle. So you see how this candle took out everything on this side, right? See my MACD on the bottom is turning. And now it's just a matter of waiting for the money. Just waiting for the money. Yay! Trading Tuesdays, right? Waiting for the money. It's going to push. We know if it pushes past, when it pushes past this wick up here, it's going to push all the way up in this area, right? We're above my resistance. Although my MACD is doing a little bit of crazy stuff down here, right? pushes past this wick, it's going to run up to somewhere in this area and hang out for a little bit, right? And come back down here, and we'll do some modifies on these bad boys. Ooh, this is crazy. A lot of movement. Hey, Heath. Yeah. Just waiting, just waiting, just waiting, just waiting. Sorry for the silence there. That's what happens when you're trading and focusing. So this is, as you can see, a lot of times when you're scalping, right, it's nice if you get a nice run on your candles. In other words, it just runs in a direction. You can, grab the money, grab the money, grab the money, grab the money, grab the money. When it's doing this, right, like, do I take a sell or do I take a buy? Do I take a sell or do I take a buy? Do I take a sell or do I take a buy? You may end up getting caught in a little bit of drawdown if you went in the wrong direction or went in the direction that the trade's not going to go. So at that point, you got to decide, do I close the trade with a little bit of a loss and try to catch it coming back on the other direction? Not every trade is going to be a win every single time. And that's absolutely, absolutely okay. Not necessary to win every trade every time, but it's nice if you do. See, 67, we'll do 70. It's nice if you can catch some trades. It's really, really nice. Again, we've got the sellers just really fighting to push price back down and come back to this zone where it sort of stalled out a little bit. See where this zone is? It's trying to come back and eat some of this up, but then you've got another lower high here, if you call it that. So you've got a zone in this area trying to push too. But again, I've got my EMAs and I've got my resistance magnets. It's all fighting this zone right here. If you watched this yesterday, when it did this yesterday, it did all of this crazy stuff. Let me go see if I can find out where it did that at. Right. Hopefully you guys have your own trading view up and you're watching trading view. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Let me go up to a different time frame here. Right in here. Right. So it did that same thing yesterday. And this is a larger time scale. This is the 15-minute, right? It did a lot of this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, did a little bit of craziness. And then it went on an uprise, right? So if price dances the same way every time, right? If price does the same thing every time, and you can go buyer, seller, buyer, seller, buyer, seller, doji candle, did a little freak out there, then it did a nice little run up. So if we go to the smaller time frame, we look for the similar pattern right here on the 1 minute. See how similar that pattern is? Buyer, seller, got a lot of indecision here. It's hanging around my resistance line, waiting for the pop to go up in this direction. We'll see, right? Again, we've got a lot of room to push back down to the P area. Man, did Bitcoin take off last night. Bitcoin's over 30. It was over 30,000. It was crazy, 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 right? In terms of where it was going, it was just absolutely nuts. Bitcoin was just absolutely nuts, nuts, nuts. I'm going to pull that over here and pull up Bitcoin while we're watching that. And just so you know, I went in, I've got a couple of trades open. I went in and modified them after I hit the execute button for my take profits. and I'm just waiting for them to hit that take profit area. I've got my mental note set to where is my Bitcoins? There's my Bitcoins. Yeah, Bitcoin right now is hovering right around 30,100. So if you're trading, man, it popped all the way to 30,233 yesterday. So nice little pop up. Remember, it was up at 60,000 and everybody freaked out. So right now it's about halfway back to where it was. If you're trading crypto and you're paying any attention there, and I don't know anything about trading. I shouldn't say I don't know anything about it, but it works the same way. If you're someone that trades crypto on a regular basis, you probably made a nice little bit of money overnight, depending on how you have that set up. And it's not just Bitcoin; you've got all the other crypto types that follow. Now, Bitcoin is actually, like, on the 1 minute, it's doing a drop, right? If you come over here, let's pull it up because I want to show it to you guys, right? Look at that. It looks just like US 30. Crazy, right? Same similarities. MACD, Bitcoin, sellers in the market, EMAs, right? Resistance line, all the same stuff. I think I might be at the R3 on that one. Let me see where we're at. Oh, that's R2. Holy mackerels. Where's R3 on that? Whew. Wow, it's way up here, right? It's at the 30,008. We're at 30,002. That's a huge move if crypto decides to move through this area. Got a large push up. Sellers are coming back in the market a little bit. Again, very similar to what we're doing over here, right? Doing a little bit of bouncing. US 30. No, buy. No, sell. No, buy. No, let's sell. Hanging out. And for all those swing traders and intraday traders, they're probably, if they're watching this, they're like, Forrest, why don't you just open a trade and just set your take profit and just walk away and go drink some coffee? Yeah, you can do that too, right? Again, absolutely awesome. Pushing. Let's see where this bad boy goes. I love it when it goes in my direction. And it's going to push. I'm waiting for it to pop right above this line right here. Let's change that to orange, right? Just hanging out. So if you're in my US 30 scalping group, make sure that whatever your results are, you post those in there today. Got a lot of good stuff going on. And if you're watching this, you're like, man, trading looks like a lot of fun. It's a little bit scary. It's a little bit sideways. Well, guess what? Got a couple of brokers hooked up with, specifically one that the smart kids will trade for you. There it goes. There she goes. Okay, that one closed with a profit. Let's see, what did I hit? Yep, that was awesome. $141 on that one, $259. So I'm at $401 right now. And let's see if we can get the second one. See how close we are to the second one. Actually, the third one. Okay, got it. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. Right. So when did we start this? Like 15 minutes ago, right? Sort of hit the trade buttons 15 minutes ago. Not any complaints on my half, but $401 before fees, $309 after. So, and that was in 15 minutes. I'll take that all day long. And we've got one more push, right? Come back here. And that one closed got another $156. So in a matter of 15-ish minutes, right? $558.25 after commissions, $461, and did that in 15 minutes, right? So want to learn how to do that? Click the link in my bio or click the link in the description. Go in, spend 3 to 5 hours a week, practice, and then practice more and practice when you have a live account with your demo account and practice. Find a pair, whether it's US 30, Euro USD, BTC, whatever you learn to trade, right? Find that and practice it and learn the dance. Remember, nothing I said today was different than I said any other day, right? The resistance level hangs out, pops up, comes back, pushes through, broke this candle wick. It's going to push up. It's going to come up into this zone, and it's going to hang out. It just does all the time. Now, it may do some of this like this, and it's going to come up here, and it's going to get in this area. It's going to hang out, and then it's going to do the same thing in this area, and it's going to try to push all the way up from there. So, again, it's doesn't do anything new, right? Here's my resistance 2. Resistance 3 is way the heck up there. There's a ton of money in this move. If it pushes all the way up in the market, right? If it pushes all the way up and keeps moving in that general direction, there's nothing, doesn't do anything different every day. It's like I get up, I put my keys in the same place, I put my wallet in the same place, I put all my stuff in the same place so I can walk through the house with my eyes closed and find the stuff every single morning. US 30 does the same thing. It puts its keys in the same place. It comes up to the resistance levels. It does the same thing every single day, right? It does this little dance. Now on the bigger time frame, on the 15-minute, you can't really see the dance as well. It just opened and ran. If I go to my Heikin-Achi candles, right? My Heikin-Achi candles are telling me buyers in the market. I could have used that. If you trade Heikin-Achi candles and you learn how to dance with those, and you'll notice that my Fibonacci's adjusted in relationship. So see how I'm right at my R2 on the Fibonacci's. When I come back to my traditional candles, I'm just shy, right? So your Fibonacci's are going to adjust based on what kind of candle style you're using. So I can trade with Heikin-Achi candles. Heikin-Achi candles are going to tell me I can do breakout boxes. You can do all that kind of stuff you learn with Heikin-Achi candles, right? It's telling me when this candle here, right? Let me blow that up. See if I can blow this up, right? When this candle here opened and it ran up and it finished closing above this. Now, some people say when it hits the 50% line, you can open up. This next candle opened above my EMA. I would have entered my trade right here, right? I would have entered my trade right here. The challenge with this is there's not a lot of room in here, right, to move on this, right? There's not a lot of room in that move. Not too bad. It's about a 14% increase on that move. But again, it's going to come up and it's going to stall out at my R2 and it's going to hang out there for a little bit. My next candle is going to break in 11 minutes because I'm on a 15-minute candle. So depending on my next candle, is going to break at 50% of this candle. If it pushes through, it's going to come up here. And again, that's using Heikin-Achi candles. That's learning the dance. That's learning how to trade. That's figuring out where you need to be in the market. Coming back to my traditional candles, right? Coming right up to my R2. Let's come back here. Let's refresh. Right? It's going to come up and it's going to hang out here for a little bit. And if it breaks through to R3, right, you can come in here and you could set a long using your prediction tool. Do just like I do and come up here. I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to set this up, set my stop loss right here. I just like to be even. So that's come on. That's a 5-to-1 right there. That's nuts. So if it does pop and bust this, if it does come back here, I lose a little bit of money. Not the end of the world, right? Some people say, well, why wouldn't you just open the trade here? Because it may just do this all day and then turn around and come back down this way. right? It does that sometimes. It may just do this for the rest of the day, right? Just depends on the guys with the big money, right? We sort of follow them, follow them, and guess where they're going and set your traps. This is what I call setting a trap. This is a buy stop order that I set up here. I can set this up and let this run. If I wanted to be crazy, I could pull my stop loss like way down here just in case it did do something like this and came back down here and hung out and ran back this way. And I could put a stop loss down there. Problem is, if I came through here, I'm going to lose like just way too much money. So I'm going to come up here and do something like this. I could do a 3-to-1 if I wanted to, and open this up and come in and set this on my trade. Now, if you're using Carbon Capital, you need to know where price is on Carbon Capital. So you go into their Carbon Capital. The reason I'm using this is because it's easier to see, right? Easier to see what's going on with the trades. But again, if you're using a different broker, Carbon Capital has raw spreads, which means pricing is about 40 pips different than this. You got to go use Carbon Capital. You got to learn their system a little bit different. They've got a pretty neat program. They've actually got TradingView integrated into their trading platform, so you can trade right inside of TradingView with them. I'm still learning how to use it. Not a huge fan. It's a little bit clunky, so I'm still figuring it out. But again, that's why I like to come back over here and just look at this stuff. Now, when you're scalping, price moves the same, right? It doesn't matter. It's going to be the same thing. I can open and close trades while scalping using Carbon Capital. It's just when I'm setting trades, like if I'm going to set my buy stop order, I need to actually go over to their log in there and set this according to, you know, their numbers in their area where it's going to be on the side there. So I'm all done for the day. Hopefully you hung out. If trading is something that you want to learn how to do, right? Simply click the link that's in the description, go in there, enroll in classes, and please think about this as a long-term education, because once you learn this skill, right? $461 after commissions and fees on a live account in 15 minutes. You don't have a job in the world that you're going to do that you can learn and spend the next 2 years committing to do that's going to teach you to make that much money in 15 minutes, right? Most people don't make that money all week, right? Think about it. You're at minimum wage, $10 an hour, $80 a day. 5 times 8 is 40. That's $400 for a week before taxes, right? I'm self-employed as an entrepreneur. I'm doing training. I've got all this stuff up here. Depending on how I file my taxes, got a large write-off. I just made as much as some people make all week in 15 minutes. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that to inspire you, to encourage you. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, male, female, in jail, out of jail, went to Yale. It really doesn't matter. You can learn how to trade. They don't do background checks, right? You just got to learn how to trade, right? Once you learn how to trade, get into the academy. They're going to teach you how to use MT4. They're going to learn you how to use MetaTrader. They're going to teach you how to use TradingView. You're going to learn all that kind of stuff. You're going to learn how to open up a broker account. All that stuff is in there, right? So once you learn all that stuff, you're not going to be left wanting and saying, man, I need to go get a second job. Imagine being a mom, staying at home. You get up and you're making $500 a day or $1,000 a day or $2,000 a day, and you can spend the rest of the days with your kids if you want to, right? Go to the park, do what you want to, hang out with your spouse. If you're an old guy like me and you want to hang out with your wife, I'm so excited. My wife set her leave her job day June of this next year. So really excited about that. And we get to spend a lot of time together. And I'm on a mission to make sure that I have a fat, stupid stack, big old stack of cash, so we can just go do a lot of stuff together. And trading is just one of those things. Got a couple of passive resources of income coming in to supplement that. She's got a passive income source coming in. I've got my military retirement. She's going to have her retirement. So we're going to have some money. We're going to I guess you want to call it an older couple, right? When you're 60 years old, I guess that's old, right? Some people are a lot older than me, and they're still out there hustling. And I know when I'm 70, my stack is going to be ridiculously large. Why? Because I've made a decision to do that. If you're a lot younger than me, strongly recommend you don't think about, well, I'm just going to do this tomorrow, right? Because tomorrow comes freaking fast. I literally can think about when I'm 30 years old. Like if I knew what I knew now, 30 years from now, oh my Lord Jesus, my stack would be huge. So you owe it to yourself to commit to yourself to getting enrolled in classes, learning how to trade, find some guys or some gals or some people you like to learn to hang out with and practice together, communicate together, hang out together, have fun together, make money together, and get better together at making money. The money's out there, right? You just have to position yourself with a skill between you and the money so you can go grab some of that, right? You're not going to get a big chunk of that 7 trillion, but a little chunk could change your life, right? I love you. I appreciate you. Jesus loves you. Absolutely nothing you can do about that. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators and help you make a lot of money. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.